What does it take to keep an island nation safe by air for over half a century? For Japan, the answer comes down to 8 aircraft, all built by Kawasaki. From Cold War submarine hunters to earthquake relief transports, these became some of Japan's most vital military machines. And the story begins over dark, open water, where patrol crews spent long hours watching for threats they hoped would never surface. In 1968, the Kawasaki P-2J entered service as Japan's answer to a growing need. Watching the nation's vast sea approaches during an era when submarine threats lingered just out of sight, the P-2J wasn't just a machine, it was a promise of vigilance. Crews took off before sunrise and returned long after dark, running patrols that stretched for hours over empty ocean. Powered by twin turboprops and auxiliary jet boosters, the P-2J could search for submarines using magnetic anomaly detectors and a suite of sonobuoys, scanning for any sign of intrusion beneath the waves. Unlike the imported aircraft it replaced, the P-2J represented a step towards self-reliance, a Japanese-built platform tailored to the country's unique geography and defense needs. Its missions rarely made headlines, but every routine patrol helped secure vital shipping lanes and deter silent threats. When the last P-2J retired in 1993, it left behind a legacy built on quiet endurance and the steady discipline of crews who watched, waited, and kept the peace from above. When the Kawasaki C-1 entered service in 1974, it was more than just a new jet on the flight line. It was a statement that Japan could build its own military transport from the ground up. The C-1 offered a 10-ton payload, enough to move troops, vehicles, or supplies between bases across the Japanese islands. Its short-range design matched the country's geography, making it a practical answer for domestic airlift and military logistics. Pilots assigned to the C-1 learned to trust its sturdy airframe and responsive handling, while maintenance crews kept the jets ready for missions that rarely made headlines but kept the self-defense forces moving. The C-1's reliability made it the backbone of Japan's tactical airlift for decades. But as the demands of humanitarian relief and overseas operations grew, the limits of its range and payload became clear. Even so, the C-1 proved that a homegrown solution could carry the load and set the stage for what came next. Every new pilot in Japan's Air Self-Defense Force faces a turning point. The transition from classroom theory and basic trainers to the demanding world of frontline jets. The Kawasaki T-4, introduced in 1988, stands at that crossroads. Designed as an intermediate jet trainer, the T-4 gives student pilots their first real taste of speed, agility, and cockpit complexity. Under the guidance of instructors, trainees learn to handle the controls, manage high-G maneuvers, and adapt to the split-second decision making required in modern air combat. This is where the habits of safety, discipline, and teamwork are forged, long before a pilot ever climbs into an F-15 or a C-2 transport. Beyond the training syllabus, the T-4 carries another role. Since 1995, it has served as the mount for Blue Impulse, Japan's national aerobatic team. At air shows and national events, the sight of 6 T-4s painting the sky in formation has made the aircraft a symbol of skill and aspiration. For Kawasaki, the T-4 isn't just a stepping stone, it's the machine that shapes the next generation, ensuring that every mission, whether routine or extraordinary, begins with a solid foundation. Japan's rugged landscape and scattered islands have always challenged rescue crews. The Kawasaki BK117 was first delivered in the mid-1990s, and it was developed in partnership with Airbus helicopters. It answered the call for a helicopter that could reach people in trouble fast. Its twin-engine design brought new confidence to medics and emergency teams, allowing flights over mountains, coastlines, and dense cities without the fear of losing power in a crisis. The BK117's wide sliding doors and modular cabin turned it into a flying ambulance, a platform for search and rescue hoists, or a support base for firefighting and law enforcement. During the 2016 Kumamoto earthquake, BK117s carried doctors and supplies to villages cut off by collapsed roads, landing in tight spaces where larger aircraft could not go. Its versatility meant that one helicopter could serve many roles, switching from medevac to disaster relief in a single day. For the crews who fly it, the BK117 is more than metal and rotors. It is a lifeline that brings help to those who need it most, wherever they are. On a battlefield where seconds count and surprise can decide everything, the Kawasaki OH-1 Ninja was built to see first and to warn fast. Introduced in 2002, this helicopter was never meant to haul troops or unleash heavy firepower. Its mission was sharper, to slip ahead of the main force, scout enemy positions, and send back real-time intelligence before anyone else was exposed. The OH-1's compact frame and agile handling let it dart low over forests and hills, avoiding detection while its crew scanned the ground below. Instead of armor, it relied on speed and stealth to keep its two-person team, pilot and observer, out of harm's way. By carrying only what was needed for reconnaissance, the Ninja reduced the risk to larger, more valuable helicopters. Every sighting, every radioed report, could mean the difference between walking into an ambush and staying one step ahead. In a world where information can be as decisive as firepower, the OH-1 proved that sometimes the most important job is simply to see, and to be seen as little as possible. Some jobs are simply too big for ordinary helicopters. When entire towns are cut off, or when a military unit needs to move heavy vehicles and supplies far from the nearest road, the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force turns to the Kawasaki-built CH-47JA. Since 1984, Kawasaki has produced more than 110 of these heavy-lift helicopters under license, building a fleet that forms the backbone of Japan's air mobility. With a certified lifting capacity between 10 and 12 tons, the CH-47JA can carry light trucks, artillery, engineering equipment, or pallets loaded with relief supplies. Its double rotor design and reinforced airframe allow it to operate in rough weather and land on improvised pads, making it indispensable when disaster strikes and roads are blocked. But the true value of the CH-47JA isn't measured in tons alone. It is in the hands of the load crews and logistics teams who plan every sling load, balance every pallet, and turn raw lifting power into real-world results. During major relief efforts, like the aftermath of the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, these helicopters moved dozens of cargo pallets in a single day, delivering food, water, and shelter where truck convoys could not reach in time. The CH-47JA proves that helicopters can do more than support the action at the margins. They can be the main artery for national response, keeping entire regions connected and resilient when urgency leaves no room for delay. The Kawasaki C-2 stands at the heart of Japan's modern airlift capability. When it first took to the skies in 2010, it was clear this aircraft answered a challenge that had grown beyond the reach of previous transports. With its entry into service in 2016, the C-2 brought a leap in both range and muscle, a payload of 37.6 tons, and the ability to cruise nearly 7,600 kilometers without refueling. Its cargo bay, stretching over 15 meters long and 4 meters wide, can swallow armored vehicles, helicopters, or containerized relief supplies. Cargo that once required multiple flights or simply could not be moved by air at all. For loadmasters like Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka and logistics officers such as Colonel Hiroshi Miyazaki, the C-2 is more than a machine. It's a tool that turns operational plans into reality. Whether moving troops to distant islands or delivering emergency aid after a natural disaster, these crews use the C-2's reach to connect Japan with places once out of range. In recent years, C-2s have flown relief missions to overseas disaster zones and joined multinational training exercises, proving that Japan's airlift is no longer limited by geography. In every sortie, the C-2 demonstrates how advanced engineering and human skill can extend a nation's ability to help, respond, and protect across oceans, continents, and crises. Patrolling the vast waters that surround Japan demands more than endurance. It calls for a guardian built for the sea itself. The Kawasaki P-1, first flown in 2007 and entering service in 2013, answers that call as the first maritime patrol aircraft designed from the ground up for Japan's unique needs. Unlike converted airliners, the P-1 was purpose-built for anti-submarine warfare, with 4 quiet turbofan engines and the world's first operational fly-by-optics flight control system, reducing electrical interference and sharpening response. Its long wings and robust structure allow crews to stay on station for over 13 hours, sweeping thousands of kilometers of ocean in a single mission. Inside, the P-1 blends advanced radar, infrared sensors, and a magnetic anomaly detector into a single sensor fusion suite. Sensor operators like Lieutenant Commander Ken Sato work alongside tactical coordinators, tracking submarine contacts and surface threats in real time. The aircraft's endurance and integrated systems let crews maintain a constant watch, deploying sonobuoys, analyzing acoustic signatures, and relaying information to ships and headquarters before a threat can slip away. Patrol after patrol, the P-1 has become the backbone of Japan's maritime domain awareness, offering not just vigilance, but a deterrent presence that signals the seas are being watched by eyes built for the task. For the teams who fly and maintain it, the P-1 represents a new standard, a homegrown guardian that stands at the front line of modern maritime security. Japan's skies and shores still depend on machines built for urgent moments, disaster, defense, and rescue. As Asia's security landscape shifts, the need for reliable, homegrown aviation grows sharper. The question now, will Japan's next iconic aircraft rise to meet threats we can't yet see? Share your thoughts below.